Football is here, fall is approaching, and let me just be honest with you. If you've seen a woman from the age of 45 to 55 post a crock pot recipe on TikTok with maybe a fall candle in the background of this is a casserole that I'm making my family, and yes, it has so much cream cheese in it, then I have watched it and I have saved it. That's the guarantee, and we're giving out guaranteed winners here on the Affaka show, so welcome. How did we do last week? Honestly, I need to calculate it, and I've been meaning to, but I haven't been. Just like I've been meaning to fix the mic, and it just looks like I have just someone just crawling on me like this. It was fine. We got absolutely destroyed in the beginning slate because I decided to fall in love with the Jets for some reason, which makes no sense. Why would I fall in love with the Jets? But look, just like Taylor Swift, we can look on past relationships, but we have to grow. I don't know if that's really what her music about. I'm more of an Olivia Rodrigo guy myself. Jets was a bad pick. However, got great picks with the Eagles, the Broncos, and then the Sunday night winner with the Falcons. Didn't do too great on Monday Night Football. Wasn't going to bet it. I did anyway. Go ahead. You can watch the Week 2 review show. But I don't care because the past is in the past, just like saloons being the center of towns is in the past. What we want to do is Week 3. Week 3, we got some matchups for you guys. You better put on your big boy pants because we're going to get rocking and rolling. Starting off, Packers versus Browns. I told myself at the end of last week, hey, I'm not going to lock in the Browns a week ahead. I did that with the 12.5 and the Ravens. And if you want to know what I did Sunday night, I locked in the Browns. I didn't lock in the Browns. I locked in the Packers opposite side a week ahead at -7.5 because I'm like, this number has to move to 8.5, 9. I just can't see anyone betting. Well, it seems like the sharps are really backing the Browns, and that's where it's all going to. So the Green Bay Packers, they look strong, awesome. This team feels absolutely legit, especially after that spanking they gave the Commanders on Monday Night Football. Jayden Daniels, he didn't look like himself. He was slow, he wasn't really moving, but the Packers were getting after him, that's for sure. The receiving core is just so deep. Tucker Kraft. I went off about Tucker Kraft in the previous video. However, Tucker Kraft might be out for this game. He's questionable heading in, and they're going to be looking at his knee a lot longer. When I was in middle school, I had knee pads the same as Derrick Rose from my Oscar Schlotters. It's basically when your patella grows out a little bit more than it should, so there's a fun medical fact about me. I also have eczema, which, by the look of me, you probably could have guessed. They do have one possible weakness, and that's the fact that they have a couple members on their O-line out. Who is terrifying on the Cleveland Browns and that every single quarterback should be afraid of? That is Myles Garrett. He's going to get after Jordan Love, and I would anticipate at least one sack from him. That's the strength that of this Cleveland Browns team is that defense. Now, the offense, that's a little bit of a problem. Joe Flacco, he's old. Let's just be honest, the kid is old. I mean, we're talking like Harrison Ford still in movies with that weird Harrison Ford. We get it, it's you, but you're just old type of old is Joe Flacco playing in the NFL. I like him, but he's not throwing the bombs like he used to. It's all little dinks and little tiny dink and driving down the field. No, we have to stop that. If you're playing the Packers, you need an offense, and dare I say, maybe we see Dylan Gabriel soon. Dare I say it? Maybe, perhaps. They can hang in games with defense alone. Everything about the Browns, I feel like spot on. They are definitely the ugly dog. The Packers is the darling, especially Micah Parsons, of the NFL right now. I already loaded up on the Packers -7.5. I'm just going to be honest. If this game gets to 9, 8.5, 9, I'm going to buy back on this Cleveland Browns team. I love this game to be within 8. If you had to say, hey, you have to pick ones for your survivor pool right now, go ahead. Give me Cleveland Browns +8. Hand up. I'm a mime. Rams versus Eagles. Right now, the line is at 3.5. -3.5 for the Eagles. Home favorites. However, it was at 4.5. And dare I say, maybe some sharp movement moved it to 3.5 early on. The Rams, they looked scary in that second half. They definitely woke up, and it wasn't just all Puka Nacua. Again, Puka Nacua, cool name, tougher guy. And that's a really cool name. He's that tough. Again, he was bleeding out of his eye. That's insane. Stafford still rocks. Then you also have Devontae Adams starting to cook it up. He's old, but he still has it. This team, they're a little bit aged. But you know what? Like aged cheese, aged wine, those are both things that exist in this world. The key edge is if Stafford's going to be able to pick apart this Eagles secondary. If you ask me how I feel about the Eagles secondary, I will respond with if they don't get rolling like the second half, this Rams team, they could be in trouble against this Eagles team because they're going to suffocate the life out of you. So, is their high-powered offense going to win or their defense? Well, we'll find out in a couple seconds. The strength of the Eagles is that they win games, right? They grinded it out against the Chiefs. They grinded it out against a divisional rival in Dallas at home with a weird rain delay. It doesn't matter how ugly it was. The Eagles still won that game. The Eagles games, they always come down to tight margin. My biggest worry is the pass game. They're going to be able to get after Saquon Barkley and stop him a little bit. If you're using Saquon in the way that you're currently using him, which is just, oh, Saquon, we're just going to run you on every single first down, even though they have the stacked box and it's super predictable and you're going to get hit really hard. Is that okay, Saquon? And Saquon's going to go, okay, sounds good. And then, he busts out some runs against Kansas City, but not that many. So they can get the pass game going, this Eagles team. I really do like that. And there are some signs, hey, take the Rams. It's one of those weird teams that always play close. But I'm a delusional fan. Maybe I'm letting my heart get to me, but I think people are really still undervaluing this Eagles team off the context of that, hey, maybe by a miracle, Jalen Hurts might start throwing the ball. So I'll back Eagles minus 3.5 in this spot. Saints visiting the Seahawks. Right now the line is at 7.5. Originally bought it at -7 because I was like, there's no way this line, it's going to end up being like 8.5. And it seems like it's pretty much staying at 7.5. So that gives me a little bit of pause and scared. But I'm not impressed with what this New Orleans Saints team has done. They're like, oh, they're scrappy teams. They stay within games. They're at home and they weren't playing the best teams. They're at home and they weren't playing the best teams. Spencer Rattler is still your quarterback. He doesn't win football games. You can't be like, oh, you're just a Spencer Rattler hater. No. He's 0-8 straight up when he has played. I get it. It's not just all on him. His team around him, his supporting cast, not that great. Sure, Kamara's cool, but just trade him away. Let him live his life. Just make him like a My Little Pony and just into the pasture. There's some positives, though. They play kind of well indoors and they keep games somewhat competitive. That's all I really have for them. The Seattle Seahawks, though, flat out tough team. And with the Saints visiting their home field, 12th man is a real thing that people are going to have to take into account during this game. Whenever, Sam Darnold is a favorite of 7 or more, he is 2-1 against the spread in his career. What this defense is going to do is shut out the Saints. So as long as Sam Darnold doesn't go down, doesn't play down to his competition, I don't see why they can't crush him here by double digits. I really don't. There has to be some reason. Someone has to be hitting the Saints team that I don't know that's keeping this number here. But look, they're scrappy. I get it. I don't trust them, especially on the road. At home, maybe it's a different story. On the road, outdoors, go ahead, give me the Seahawks minus 7.5 or better. I bought them at -7, so if it ends a push, don't blame me. Broncos versus Chargers. Right now, the Chargers are 2.5-point favorites. And this game, it's a very tough matchup in the AFC. It's the battle of the younger brothers of Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are still up here, but now they're battling out. Although the younger brothers, now they're starting to become a little bit stronger. They might be able to punch up. They might be able to put a little Minto into the Coca-Cola, shut your door, and spray it on you. Because they're coming. They're coming. Chiefs, they better be ready for what this Chargers team, what this Broncos team is going to put together. I don't care. I still think the Chiefs have the division. They're 0-2. I don't care. We're going to get to it. Someone's going to come out of this game. If it's a tie, it's going to even benefit them more. Right now, the Denver Broncos lost in absolutely heartbreaking fashion last week. Now, sure, you have the whole Ursay thing going on, and the mascot's incredible, but they lost in heartbreaking fashion. They should not have let the game get to that. Oh, on the other hand, what we have been seeing is the fact that maybe this Colts team is legit. They haven't punted yet. They haven't really come out of the gate as everyone expected, this Broncos team. Their defense is strong, but their passing game is still a little bit weak. And honestly, ever since they lost the Chargers late last year, Bo Nix is 1-5 against the spread. 1-5 against the spread after losing Chargers for a team that was crushing it. So I'm not saying sophomore slump, but something must have happened. For the Charger side, Justin Herbert, he's in full form with Madison Beer. Again, I'm saying this. I have been a Madison Beer fan for a very long time, and people have to get with the program. Great music and just great other things as well. Shout out to her. But she is making him fantastic at football. Jim Harbaugh, he has a team buying in. Demolished the Raiders, wasn't even close. Handled the Chiefs. Weird Brazil game, but still handled the Chiefs. If this offense can keep up with this defense, they're looking very good in the AFC. Definitely playoff bound. So overall, though, when we're looking at the value, though, we have to understand the value. Straight up, I might lean the Chargers like a half point. They're at home. Chargers don't really have a fan base at home. I don't care though. I love the Broncos in this spot. Plus 2.5. 2 is such a key number. Give me Broncos plus 2.5. Cowboys versus Bears. Right now, the current line is Bears plus 1. And then also in some books, it's Cowboys plus 1. So it's really making no sense. Right now, the public is just loving Dak Prescott. They won an absolute sweater last week against the Giants. That's the key word there. They won an absolute sweater. Oh my God, who was it? Chiefs, Eagles? No. The Giants. And CeeDee Lamb got the offense clicking again. The offense is super impressive. And Dak's playing great. I mean, it's regular season Dak. What do you expect? But Dak is playing great. Their defense is bad. I'm talking like when you're trying to cook and like you're at your significant other's family's house and they're like, oh, do you mind just opening the can? And then you use their can opener and like you're not really know how to actually use a can opener and you're fumbling with it a little bit. That's what their defense is. It's a bad look. Just get there and learn how to grind it. You might have to grip it. You might have to grip it from the side, but you have to go ahead and grind it out. I did bump into my teeth there, and I was told by my dentist I need Invisalign. I can't tell if they're messing with me, if I need to actually get Invisalign or not, but what do you want? I was born with an underbite. That's their problem. It's going to be a lot of fun shootout games for Dallas, but it's scary. The Bears, they fell apart against the Lions. I mean, what did you expect? I don't think this was on the Bears. They scored 21 points. The Lions are pissed off that they just absolutely just slept. They slept against the Packers. It's going to be interesting when they play, and it's going to be another test for that Ravens team when they go ahead and play. I'm pumped for that game. Now, Caleb Williams, he had some bright spots. He's binary. He's kind of like me, right? Where you're fantastic, and you're like, that's incredible. Oh my God, I understand why he's like one of the top picks. And then it's like, what is he doing? Sometimes it's just like he's playing boggle on the sideline. The Bears, they're going and they get the life sucked out of them. They need to keep the life in, and if Caleb's rolling, this offense is getting involved. Maybe they get Loveland in a little bit. I mean, you spent all that draft capital. Why aren't you getting Loveland in a little bit? I have him in fantasy, as you can tell. So I love the Bears to keep up the atmosphere. It's a home game. We can beat Dallas. Why not? This is a big matchup. If Caleb stays confident, I love the Bears to win outright. Pick them at anything, minus 1.5 or better. Chiefs, Giants, both teams are 0-2. Right now, the line sits at 5.5 with 50% of the bets on the Giants and 21% of the money backing them. Right now, when we're looking at these two different teams, it's a tale of two different 0-2 teams, right? The Kansas City Chiefs, they lost their two best receivers. One was just, obviously a horrible outside of NFL thing that, happened. The other one just actually got bumped by Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce, big boy. So I don't want to draft. I don't want to get bumped into him. And especially like if Xavier Worthy hit Travis Kelce harder, all the Swifties would be after him. So you don't want that. You don't want that. But Xavier Worthy's out. Now Patrick Mahomes has no one to throw the ball to. And we can see this is becoming a big issue. Travis Kelce, I know we're talking about him, not the player he was. Everyone's saying the Chiefs might suck. Positive side is that Mahomes is Mahomes. He's going to run it with his legs. He's going to get you the first downs. He's going to try to keep your best in games. Once they get their receivers back, they're going to be an absolutely scary team. They always start off okay, and the Chiefs put it together in week 3. Right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are 9-3 against the spread in week 3 and are just only 13-13 against the spread in weeks 1 and 2. The Giants, let's be honest, they're not good. Russ had maybe his game of the year, possibly game of his life, possibly career-saving game for sure. That's gonna be a high watermark. You're playing a pissed-off Chiefs team. I really don't like it. And we're going to see the big talent gap between Mahomes and Russell Wilson. There was line movement from 5.5 to 6. I would anticipate this to get up to 6.5. That's a tough task. That's a tough task when you're playing Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes doesn't cover by a lot. We know that whenever it's above 3, it's like, Whenever he's 3 or below, it's like, yes, please. I don't care. They have to do good. I love this Chiefs team to have a fantastic game here. I'll take them to cover the 6. Lions versus Ravens. The Ravens right now have 4.5-point favorites with 66% of the bets and 36% of the money backing them. Lions absolutely destroyed the Bears last week. Chicago was just dead on arrival from kickoff. Jared Goff played absolutely amazing. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 3 touchdowns. Stud. J-Mo, 2 catches for over 100 yards. Stud. But they still might have the weakness because Chicago's front seven didn't really get after Jared Goff. Now, is that because the offensive line stepped up, or is it because Jared Goff is developing? Are we seeing him get even better again? I mean, he is a completion percentage king. He might have what it takes, and might not be just because he has a supermodel wife. Do you have to mention that he has a supermodel wife every single time? No, but it just slips out. The key factor here is Goff. If he can sit in the pocket and just pick apart this Ravens defense, way harder done than said. There can be a chance to win because the Baltimore Ravens are on a tear. Well, not really. They were on a tear for the first half of the Bills game. They weren't really bad, and then they started to do good against the Cleveland Browns. They won 41-17, but the scoreboard isn't really reflective of what happened. Cleveland was able to bottle up Derrick Henry like a soda pop. Remember the first time you met someone from the Midwest and they called it a soda pop? Freaked me out. He was not able to rush for that many yards. He had like 11 carries for something like 30 yards. Lamar Jackson, though, in that defense, did enough to win. They had a pick six on Joe Flacco, or at least it was a pick six. I don't know. The defense was dominating him so much, it was tough to tell. The key factor here is if Derrick Henry can actually get moving against this Lions team. When Derrick Henry's moving, it's almost impossible to beat these Ravens. It's just as simple as that. So here we go. Lions, they looked electric. Are they going to just be one of these teams that absolutely demolish the team the week before and then go down? Well, you can say the same about the Rams. We can say the same about the Ravens in this situation. So I love the points. We're getting 5.5. That's where I locked in my bet. And you're also getting 4.5. Give me 4.5. Once this gets down to a field goal, okay, 4. Now we start thinking about it. But besides that, give me the Lions. Give me the Lions. Now we're back for our Tease 'em Up of the week. This is when we give the teaser plays 3 teams to look at in depth, which is just, in my brain, how could you lose that game? First one off is -7 Saints. Tease that bad boy down to -1.5. There's so much value. Oh my God, there's a huge buck. How's a wasp this high up? I'm up double digits floors in New York City, and there's a wasp trying to get in. No. A little Matumbo for that bad boy. Tease them up with the Saints. Outside of the Saints, we got to put in the Chiefs. How can they lose? They cannot go 0-3. So we're going to have the Chiefs in the teaser as well. The last piece to this, is going to be a team that I'm thinking of that I have not prepared for yet. It's going to be the Denver Broncos. When I filmed this earlier, Broncos were at 2.5. Now they're at 3. You're telling me their game doesn't stay within 8.5 points? Give me the Denver Broncos here.